Okay, how's it going, everybody? Today, what we are going to do. Whoa, I was messed up. In, in lieu of an actual drawing, I've had a couple friends of mine who have recently gotten into digital art because they've asked me, oh, hey, how do you do this? Or what program do you use? And so on and so forth. And I use Krita. It's Photoshop, but it's free, and I'm broke. So, there you go. And there's not many tutorials on Krita. Why can't I get this to be the right shape? I don't care. It's gonna get erased anyways. Um, yeah, there's not many tutorials on Krita. There is one guy that does them, and I know he does them really well. I wish I could remember his name. Anyways, but what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the basics of everything, assuming you've never used Photoshop, you've never used Krita, Krita, Krita. Uh, Honestly, I don't know how to pronounce this. I think it's Krita. I I tweeted the company and they never got back to me. So I mean, thanks for that, guys. But I have to assume it's Krita. Like how a British person would say Twitter, they'd be like, "Oh, did you get on the Twitter?" So I just assume that yeah, that's a nice heart. I just assume it's Krita. Doesn't matter. Anyways, let's I mean right from the beginning. I mean, let's just start with the most important thing. You can't draw if you don't have a piece of paper. So anytime you start a new document, the first thing you're going to have, and don't pay attention to these other two, we'll get back to that. The first thing you're going to have is just this background layer, which that's exactly what it is. It's just a blank sheet of paper, essentially. Like you pulled one out of the printer and you grabbed yourself, what do we got here? You just grabbed yourself a pen. It was a blue pen. You grabbed the goddamn pen is blue. You grabbed a blue pen and you just started drawing on the printer paper. That's what the background layer is. I want to apologize about the lag if there is any. For some reason, whenever I screen record, it just slows down my computer some. It's kind of annoying, but I mean, what are you going to do? Anyways, so yeah, over here, down in the bottom right, this is where all of your different brushes are. And I mean, there are a billion different brushes. Let's grab this one, for instance. What's this one called? Let's see. This is called Texture Snow Pile. So yeah, no look. Oh, and make beautiful little snow. Make a mountain. This is that tower that they built on SpongeBob. And SpongeBob's up here. Patrick's right here. Squidward's down here, and he's like, I have tentacles. Anyways, oh, that's all in the background. Whatever, that doesn't matter. Yeah, this is all just your different brushes. I mean, obviously these aren't brushes. This is more texture stuff. But let's see where's let's grab some brushes here. Let's go into paint. What's this guy? This is what happened? Okay. This is texture pointillism. Ooh, that sounds Oh, why don't I do stuff with this? Ooh, sorry that I got distracted, but oh my god, I love this. Oh my god, dude, I'm totally gonna do something with this. Okay, anyways, yeah, this is where all of your different brushes are. You just want a good old-fashioned pen? Hey, check it. We got one of those for you. Your basic liner. Boom, bam, boom. There's your pen, dude. Now you got a triangle, kind of looking triangle. Well, let's say you're not a fan of red. Well, maybe you want to do some green. Hey, you know what? Krita's got you covered. Check out this green here. Make a little hat for your triangle. Now your triangle's got a hat. You're thinking, oh no, my triangle needs eyeballs. But he wears an eye patch. So there you go. Now your triangle's got one eye patch because he is a cyclops. And he's got really gross teeth. So we'll give him some gross teeth. Like, I've got gross teeth. Triangle with an eye patch and gross teeth. Anyways, I'm sorry, I don't know how that just happened. So yeah, that's that. Like I said, here's all your brushes. They're all sorted, and you can even have like a little my favorites thing that you can add your own brushes to. I'm not gonna get into that right now because that's just technical mumbo jumbo that doesn't matter. And this is a nice little tab here. It shows you the last X amount of brushes you used. So if you're like drawing something, you're like, oh man, I forget what brush I was using to do this. You can just go into the preset history and boom, brings up this guy. Now you've got this delightful pointillism brush that I love so much. Okay, so that's that. The next, I would say, arguably one of the most important things is keeping your tabs, or not your tabs, your layers organized. Quick way to do that, which I myself don't do as much as I would like to, is label these. It's really going to help you in the long run. It'll just make, when you start doing stuff that has like 30, 40 layers, my god, it really helps. Just, we'll call this Pirate Man face. Yeah. So now it's right there, Pirate Man face. I'm like, oh man, I'm looking for the layer. I got all these stupid layers. Where's the one with Pirate Man face? Oh, there it is. Perfect. It even shows you a little thumbnail of it, which is just adorable. But keeping your layers organized, it's important. And as far as layers themselves, you press this little button, boom, you got a new layer now. So now, anytime you draw something, well, let's do this. Here, I'll show you. Let's say we go bam, like that. This is not the best brush to use to do that. Let's get this one. Make it a little bit bigger. Boom. Okay. Now, because this layer is above this layer, it's going to draw above it. You kind of have to think it like in like a 3D aspect almost, but not really, just a little bit. So if I move this layer down below it, now, what the hell just happened? It's freaking out, dude. What? Oh, okay. The computer just, okay. I was super confused for a second. But yeah, now that this is above it, everything else is behind it. You see what I'm saying? It's an easy process, or an easy concept to wrap your brain around. It's just, getting used to keeping these in order and knowing it's, thinking ahead a little bit at sometimes. Alright, so we went over the brushes, we went over the layers, we went over picking your colors and things like that. You go all around here, and that's your whole freaking rainbow, dude. Do some acid and just watch this thing. Don't do drugs. This is the size of your brush. Okay, you can come up here. There's 2 different ways you can do it. At least 2 that I know of. Come up here with your mouse, and you can move it back and forth, and it changes the size of your brush. Or if you use the brackets, it's just a little shortcut. The closed bracket. Hold on, let me move this down here so you can actually see it. The left bracket makes it smaller. Right bracket makes it bigger. It's pretty simple. Nothing too crazy there, but it's just a nice little shortcut to remember. So let's see what else we got here. We come over here. This is your eraser. I genuinely don't know what this is. I've never used it before, so we're not going to talk about that right now. But here's your eraser, which, again, shortcut. If you hit E, it toggles between the eraser and the pen. So there's your pen or brush, whatever, and then E, that erases it. And it doesn't make it white, it legit erases it. So as you can see here, like, this is transparent. If you were to print this picture out right now as it is, this is the only stuff that would print. That checkered stuff in the back, that's transparent. That's not there. It's kind of weird, but yeah. But anyways, like I was saying, So, here's this square, and like, oh no, I don't like this one line, I need it to be straighter. Erase. See, it goes to the checkered pattern, not actually white. Which can get confusing later, sometimes, but don't worry about it. I'm not trying to scare you off. What else do we got here? What's this? Oh, these are all your filters. Or, not filters. What the hell is this called? Wait, what is this called? Layer styles, my bad. Just totally left my brain there for a minute. What is this? Choose brush. Oh, don't worry about that. Edit brush settings. Again, there's a lot to this, so I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, that's what it is. You can change the size, the spacing of, oops, I'm on eraser. You can change so much stuff. I'm still on eraser because I can't change it from here. Not important. You can change a lot of stuff in here. We'll save that for another video. As we're going along, let's see, what up here is important? I mean, your filters are nice, but again, that's just, you just play with that. I would gladly do a video on all of this, on everything that I know about, which, it's not everything. I don't know everything about this program. I've only been messing around with it for like 6-7 months, but I know enough to get you started. I would hope that you watch this and you say, you know what, Jane Doe, you did me good, child. Oh, look, now it looks like a pine tree. Not a pine tree. What are those ones in the Wilson movie? Wilson, with the guy, he's like cast away on an island. Survivor or something? I forget what it's called. Anyways, so yeah. You got, like I said, pretty simple. You got all your different stuff, and the best way to find out what does what, honestly, is picking stuff up and just trying it out for yourself. That's been a lot of my experience with this program, is just going through, knowing the basics, like I'm trying to do here, and then just going out and experimenting and doing it on your own. Seeing what does what, seeing what filters do what filters, getting your layers, just having fun, man. That's all art is. That's all this should be. It's nothing to stress yourself out over, because honestly, it's just zeros and ones. Yeah. But you want to do pretty stuff. So we're going to try to do some pretty stuff. So let's talk about some of these things over here. Just a couple of them. We're not going to go through all of them. This video will take forever. Right now, this here is your line tool. And I'll show you a cool thing about it here in a second, but let's just go through the basics of it. Your line tool, it does exactly what you think it does. It makes a straight line. If you want, like, let's just do this one. It's a little off center. If you want those lines to be, like, this one's perfectly up and down, this one's perfectly, left and right, this one's perfect 45-degree angle, maybe. You hold down shift and it locks it to what I don't know, what I assume are 15-degree intervals. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, you hold shift and it does that with it. So that's cool. And let's just do this. Let's create another layer so we can get rid of this stuff, so I can see what I'm doing. Bring the background back for a second. Yeah, you click on these little eyes, and it shows or hides, whatever's on that layer. I like this. I could sell this at like the Met Gala or something. A girl can dream. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the square. Yeah. Okay. It does exactly what you think it does. Makes a square. And just like the line tool, you hold down shift, now it's a perfect square, which is a cool little feature. It's definitely nice. If you hold down control, it lets you grows or shrinks it from the center. And if you hold down Shift and Control at the same time, grows or shrinks it from the center, but keeps it proportional. If you, what do we got here? Not that one. If you hold Alt, it lets you move it in the size that it's already in. And Alt and Shift, same thing, perfect square, but you can move it. None of that stuff's really important. I mean, it's not important, but it's just messing around. And I'll show you another cool thing that I figured out the other day, which you may have already discerned from looking at that. Let's go here. Actually, no, that's boring. Let's go here. This might be a bad idea, but let's see how it works. Let's grab this one, for instance. Shrink that a little bit. And then we'll go to this circle, since we're done with the squares. And we'll go to this color, just for fun. Now, I changed the brush that I was using, so watch how these lines respond. Isn't that dope? I didn't know about that until the other day. Yeah, when you use a different brush, it changes... Whoa, this is going to be big. It changes the texture of the shape, which I think is super cool. Let's move on, though. What is this? What's this one? Is this that weird, like... Yeah. This is weird, man. It draws, like, in the four corners. I don't know. Super cool. I've never actually used it for anything, but I'm sure I could find a use for it. Anyways, what else do we got? Let's just grab this for now. Am I still doing that four thing? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, what is this even called? Multi-brush tool. Huh. Whatever. Okay. Let us... the color select tool, fill... Yeah, let's talk about the fill tool, because that is not... Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I guess I could talk about that since I just accidentally did that. This is the opacity for the layer that you're currently on. So let's say you see it makes it lighter, which is super good if you're... Here, I'll show you. We'll do an example. Let's come here. Oops. Let's go... Let's pick this guy for right now. Doesn't really matter. Oops. B. Okay. And let's go like this. Let's scribble here. Scribble there. This is what I was talking about with the lag. But it doesn't matter. What we'll do is we'll sketch a little flower in here real quick. And I'm purposefully trying to make it look as scratchy and sketchy as possible, because it will just emphasize what I do next. I didn't mean to put those eyes in there, but you know what? Now those eyes are there. He's a happy little flower. I don't like that petal. Anyways, we create another layer over top of our sketch layer, and we're like, okay, I want to do this again, but I want to, clean it up, make it look a little better. So we'll come, let's use that color. Come over here and we're like, oh, I really can't. Well, I mean, that's a bad example because I can absolutely see what I'm doing. But you get the idea. You're like, you can lower the opacity on this as much or as little as you want. See, like I can barely see that. But now when I do my my ink layer, that's a stupid eye. Now when I do my ink layer, I can really see, what we got. Why can't I get this stupid shine on his eye right? Because I'm not trying. Now, yeah, when I do the ink layer, I can super see what I'm doing here. You know what? It doesn't matter. Here's a little eye, his little smile, a little that, little that, little that. Oh yeah, I didn't like that petal. I still put it in. Whatever. This doesn't even look anything like a flower right now. Maybe if we put some petals in. Leaves, I mean. Are those called leaves? Do flowers have leaves? Trees have leaves. Flowers have leaves? Yeah, leaves and petals. There's your arbor lesson. of the day. Your botany lesson. Flowers have leaves, folks. Write the news. Right? Get J. Jonah Jameson on the line. Anyways. Okay. But this is a perfect example because I needed something here anyways. So this is your, what is this called? Transform a layer or selection. Oh, I guess it's just a transform layer. That's what we're transform tool. That's what I've always called it. So now we can move this by itself. It only moves, the layer that you're on. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So now I can go to this layer and click on it. Or you could click anywhere really. It just only affects the layer that you're on. Okay. And then just like with all the shape tools, like the square and the circle, you hold shift and you can scale it to a new size, and it's, it stays, what's the word? Proportional. You can come to this corner and you hold shift, or I'm sorry, not shift, you hold the mouse key down and you can rotate it. I think you can also do this, and yeah, I don't know what degree that is, but again, doesn't matter. This is kind of weird. You can move the anchor so where it turns, you see what I mean? I don't know how to describe that, but you can see it in action, so you know what I'm talking about. And then what do we got here? This here is just your move tool. Doesn't do anything. Just moves stuff around. Is this like a crop or something? Yeah. So how does that work? Whoa! I've never used this before. So what's going to happen? You know what? I don't want to mess with this. Okay. So these two are the only important ones. Don't ever even look at this. Pretend this isn't here. Okay. This episode's getting a little long in the tooth, and I kind of wanted to do one more thing. Yeah, we'll do this real quick. Open this up, and I made this earlier before I started recording, just so that I could show you a little bit of an example about, keeping your layers in order, and what happens when you move them around, and just things of that nature. So let's try to do that real quick. Let me show you. So I have my outline layer on top, and I know you're thinking this is on top, but this is the group, which I can explain a different time. It's not complicated. It was just an easy way to organize everything so that I could turn everything on and off all at once instead of going individually, one by one. But like I said, this outline is on top, so let's see what happens when I move it. Let's see what happens when I move it right to here. You see how all this stuff went over top? All these colors went over top? It's because, now this outline is underneath all of these layers. And then, as you can probably hear from the clicking of my goddamn laptop, all you do to move layers, just click and hold them. It's super simple. I'm going to end this here because I feel like it's been going on forever, and I don't want to do too much all at once. And we will pick this up. We'll do some stuff with this snake on the next one. We'll add some colors. We'll do some shading. We will, maybe we'll add some filters and stuff just for fun. Who knows, This is my world and you just live in it. But yeah, quick recap. Here's all of, like I said, here's all your brushes. And if there's anything that you had in mind, you're like, oh, I want I'm probably not going to find anything for this, but I wanted a stippling brush or something, whatever. You can type stippling in there and it'll bring up anything that kind of falls in that category. Oh, this is all coming up because it's under sketch and the S, whatever. Up here, this is where your layers are. This right here creates a new layer. Your brush presets are here, like I said before. Super useful. That's a really useful thing. This is the opacity for the layer that you're on. Like I said, turns it up, turns it down. Oh, wrong layer. Turns it up, turns it down. Oh, and believe me, you will be on the wrong layer a lot. I do it all the time. This is your color picker, obviously, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Pick a color, you draw something. Opacity again, this is for, oh, this is a different opacity. Let me talk about this really quick. The opacity up here affects the brush you're using. So, well, this is kind of a terrible brush example. See, oh, damn, the opacity's back up. Okay, let me try that one more time. So here's 100% opacity. Ah, man, that would have been good if it went to 69. And there's 69% opacity, or 66% opacity. And 18, you know, and if you go over it again, it makes it darker. It's a fun little thing to mess with for, you know, different things. I don't use it very much, but that's just me personally. Go back through eraser. Like I said, you hit E, toggles the eraser on and off. Knowing these little shortcuts doesn't matter, but it helps speed things up. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all. That's the stuff that you need to get started. For instance, with me just using those 3 things that we just talked about, the brushes, the color picker, and the eraser, not even changing layers, let's do this. And let's do this just to show you that you can do it. Here we go. Ready? Not even gonna change layers. Not even gonna do nothing fancy. Just gonna change some colors. And I'm even gonna use the same brush this whole time. I don't care. But, like, oh no, this is too big. Well, this is kind of a pain in the ass to do without changing layers, but whatever. Come back here, fill this in again. And we'll come up here, we'll grab some yellow, because center of flowers is always yellow for some reason. And then like that. And look, now you got like a super basic flower, dude. Aren't you happy? I'm happy. And I did that, like I said, all on one layer in 2 seconds, using just those 3 things. The eraser, the color picker, and the same brush. I didn't even change the size of the brush. So you start getting in here, and getting in here, getting crazy with your layers. You're gonna have a good time, dude. But I'm gonna wrap this one up. Gotta edit everything together. If you stayed for all of this, I love you. If you stayed for 2 minutes of this, tell me what I did wrong. Yeah, you know the deal. Like and comment and subscribe. No, but do for sure comment what things maybe you've had trouble with that I may be able to help you with. And if I can't help you, I for sure shit will look up some way to help you, and I will let you know. And I will put it in video, and I will talk to you in the video. I'll say, hey, Brenda, I figured out how to do that thing that you wanted to do. Not that thing, Brenda. Get your mind out of the gutter. But this thing. And then we'll do that thing. It'll be a little learning experience for all of us. But, okay. Yeah. I love you, Brenda. Bye.